Anthony Albanese has absolutely cooked it this time, and I'm not just talking about the usual bumbles and media fluff. I'm talking full-on, eyes glazed over, train-wreck diplomacy with the world's most unpredictable bloke, Donald bloody Trump. And now, thanks to Albo's weak as water leadership and dead in the water negotiation skills, the US is threatening a 200% tariff on Aussie pharmaceuticals. You heard that right, 200%. That's not just a slap in the face. That's a full-blown, steel-capped boot to the economy, straight through the guts. Before we dive into this Albanese disaster, where Albo gets ghosted by Trump, let's diplomacy crash and burn, and hopes a miracle summit selfie will fix everything. Smash that like button like you're nuking a 200% tariff on your meds. Subscribe if you're sick of leaders who fold under pressure. And grab the Make Politics Honest Again shirt. Wear it to your next pharmacy trip, your rent protest, or while yelling at the telly wondering how we became a global joke. Links in the description. Now let's not sugarcoat it. This ain't just some behind closed doors diplomatic tiff. This is what happens when a bloke like Anthony Albanese tries to play power games with a political wrecking ball like Trump and forgets to bring his spine to the meeting. This is what happens when a prime minister obsessed with selfies and international virtue signaling walks into a high-stakes room without a clue how to deal with the 47th president of the United States, who's already got Australia in his sights as the next target in his global America First again rampage. Trump doesn't muck around. He's back in the White House, he's installed his loyalists, and he's tearing up trade deals like they're post-it notes. And where's Albo? Chasing feel-good headlines and TikTok photo ops, while Trump's team prepares to slap 200% tariffs on the very meds that keep everyday Aussies alive. Asthma puffers, blood pressure pills, insulin, all on the chopping block. Why? Because Albanese couldn't lock in a bloody meeting. Ghosted. Ignored. Diplomatically humiliated on the world stage like some rookie from a third-rate nation. We're not talking bad luck here. We're talking gross incompetence. You'd think, after the Trump tornado of 2016 to 2021, we'd have a plan. But no, Albo walks in like it's still Biden's game, pretending like diplomacy is a group hug, and forgets the one rule of Trump Club. If you don't dominate, you get dominated. And dominated we have been. Trump has already made it crystal clear. You don't give him what he wants, he makes you bleed. And thanks to Albanese's soft-touch strategy and his government's obsession with renewable fairy tales and immigration numbers that make no housing sense, we're bleeding already. And let's talk about that housing crisis. While Trump plans his tariffs, Albo's got record immigration numbers flooding in, and nowhere to bloody put anyone. The leaked Treasury docs make it clear, Labor's housing targets are a fantasy. We're building nowhere near enough, and still, Albanese opens the floodgates wider than ever. It's like filling up a bath with the plug pulled out, and then wondering why you're standing in a drought. Meanwhile, the price of rent has gone through the roof, mortgage stress is biting, and families are being forced to live in cars or queue up for food parcels. So not only can we not house the Aussies already here, now we're about to pay double, no, triple, for our meds, because Anthony Albanese got embarrassed by Donald Trump and didn't even see it coming. And here's the kicker. Trump didn't even have to work hard for it. He saw the weakness from a mile away. Albo's been too busy pandering to international climate conferences and promising billions to every cause except his own people, and Trump clocked it. One sniff of weakness, and bang, we're looking down the barrel of the most aggressive pharmaceutical tariff threat in our nation's modern trade history. You want to talk about betrayal? That's what this is. Albanese didn't just get ghosted by Trump, he left Australia exposed. Trump's team has already briefed their trade reps. They're sick of subsidizing what they see as soft allies. And in Trump's world, weakness is a green light. You don't show up strong, you get hit. Simple as that. And Albo, bless his heart, walked into the lion's den armed with a tea towel and a speech about climate justice. Jesus wept. Even within his own party, there's panic. Ministers are whispering behind closed doors, Treasury scrambling. Pharmaceutical industry reps are on the phone day and night trying to get clarity, and no one from the PM's office is giving them answers. Why? Because Albanese doesn't have any. He's hoping this'll all blow over like a political fart in the wind. But this isn't Canberra drama. This is international warfare by trade. This is livelihoods on the line, your nan's medication, your mate's diabetes treatments, cancer drugs, all of it now tangled in a Trump tantrum that Albanese never had the guts or brains to prevent. And what do we get from Albo in response? Some weak statement about Australia's commitment to global cooperation. Mate, read the bloody room. Trump doesn't want cooperation, he wants capitulation. And if you're not prepared to stand up to him with some genuine negotiating muscle, you get steamrolled. It's not hard to figure out, unless, of course, you've spent the past 2 years playing woke politics while your country burns from inflation, energy chaos, and a total collapse of trust in leadership. This is the same bloke who promised power bills would drop by $275. What a joke. Instead, they've skyrocketed by more than $750 in some places. Bowen's renewable-only energy fantasy has left smelters closing, jobs bleeding out of manufacturing, and energy reliability in tatters. And now, with Trump's tariff threats on the table, the pharmaceutical industry is next in line to get flattened. But don't worry, Albo's got a tweet and a smile for that, right? And let's not forget, Trump knows exactly what he's doing. He's playing to his base, hammering globalist trade deals, and using countries like Australia as pawns to boost his own pharma manufacturing narrative. America First isn't a slogan, it's a wrecking ball aimed at our supply chains. And with Albo in charge, we've got no shield, no plan, and no leadership. He's just out there nodding along at climate summits while Trump's carving up the chessboard. And guess what? We're the sacrificial rook. You think that's too harsh? Ask the pharmacy reps who've already had to delay shipments over uncertainty. Ask the rural Aussies who can't afford their meds as it is. Ask the hospital procurement officers staring down a budget nightmare as the cost of basic meds triples overnight. And all because Albanese was too focused on his image, too arrogant to admit he wasn't ready for Trump 2.0, and too soft to bring in seasoned negotiators who know how to stare down a lunatic with power. This isn't just incompetence. It's dangerous. It's reckless. And it's exactly what happens when ideology overtakes reality, when a leader spends more time managing optics than outcomes. The media won't say it straight, but we will. Albanese has failed Australia, and now we're all going to pay the price, at the chemist, at the hospital, and at the bloody ballot box if this keeps up. Meanwhile, Trump's laughing. His tariffs are leverage, and he knows we've got no counter. Albanese has gutted our local manufacturing, made us reliant on imports, and now that the Americans are tightening the screws, there's nothing left to do but panic. And believe me, they are panicking in hushed meetings, emergency calls, backdoor lobbying. But it's too little, too late. The damage is done. And guess what? Trump's just getting started. The pharmaceutical tariff threat is just the opening shot. If Albo keeps sleepwalking through this presidency like it's a Netflix documentary, what's next? Tariffs on our mining exports? Agriculture? Our entire economy is up for grabs if the bloke in the lodge doesn't wake up and fight. But fighting's not really Albo's thing, is it? He prefers to smile, deflect, and drop meaningless lines about being on the right side of history. Meanwhile, history's stomping on our neck. So here's the brutal truth, mate. If this is the best we've got, we're in for a world of hurt. We've got Trump in full beast mode, an economy already wobbling, and a prime minister who couldn't negotiate a discount at a garage sale. Forget Labor's talking points. Forget the spin. Just look at the facts. Housing crisis, energy chaos, unaffordable meds, and a global image that's gone from respectable to pathetic. Thanks to Albanese. But hey, at least we got a cute little Instagram post from Albo on his latest overseas junket. Yeah? That'll definitely fix everything. Mate, we are being led by a man so out of his depth, he'd drown in a kiddie pool. And if you think this 200% pharma tariff is bad, just wait. The next diplomatic blunder is already loading. Because with Albo at the wheel and Trump back in charge, Australia is the roadkill in a global power game we never stood a chance in. So smash that like button like it's a 200% tariff notice on your bloody prescription. Subscribe if you're sick of being shafted by leaders who couldn't fight their way out of a paper bag. And grab the Make Politics Honest Again shirt while you still can. Wear it to the pharmacy, the polling booth, or straight into Parliament if you've had enough. Because if we don't wake up now, we might not have a country left to argue about. And remember, this isn't politics as usual. This is the price of weak leadership in a strongman's world. And we're the ones copying the bill. Thanks, Albo. Bloody brilliant.